Sparkles on Treasure.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sparkles with Treasure, and my name is Treasure. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, Sparkles with Treasure is a program envisioned to create a godly awareness in the life of youth, recreating a new world where righteousness is pursued by people. And today we're going to be having a book review on The Survivor, and the guest with me is the author and the writer of this inspirational and interesting book, The Survivor.
Lawyer Charles Emmanuel is a medical doctor by training, a pastor, and the vice president of the Divine Life Ministry International, a conference speaker, a life coach, and also the creator of a program called Get Your Life Back, the author of the soon-to-be-released book, The Survivor.
Hello, Pastor Laya, how are you doing?
Hello, good day to you. I'm doing so well, thank you.
Yes, Pastor Laya, I would like to understand this book. I know The Survivor is one thing that a lot of people are passing through. And I want to ask, why the title The Survivor?
Let me take a cue from what you said. You said a lot of people are passing through surviving phases in their lives and everything. So actually, the book is premised against the story of my life.
Yes, I know.
It actually documents challenges I faced as a person, how I waded through them to get to this point I am in today. So it's just basically the struggles I've gone through in life, the challenges, the difficulties and everything, and then the principles I held on to, and how I was able to walk through those difficult phases to get to this phase, basically.
Now, you know, the interesting part is I've reviewed the book really, and I read something in chapter 2.
Okay.
You talked about help, I'm drowning. And I know that was a very deep story to bring out to the public. It must have taken a lot from you. And I want you to just enlighten us on what exactly you were passing through. I'm not going to tell you what I read from that book. I'm not going to tell you everything I read. But the little I read from that book, I almost wanted to cry. I think I was discussing it with you on phone.
Right.
And I told you that even that chapter 2, help, I'm drowning. Sometimes we are drowning in a lot of things. In our relationship, in our lives, in our personal things. And you know, you came out of it. But I want you to just tell us a bit, enlighten us on what was going on at that period.
Okay, now that chapter 2, Help I'm Drowning, was actually one of the darkest periods of my life, if I can say that. I was going through a lot then. At that point in time, I was in third year in medical school, and I was married then. My husband just invested in a deal, and we lost over $100,000 in that deal as a third year medical student. And almost all the friends we had on campus, almost everybody we knew also had their money tied up in that deal. So when the business sank overnight, oh my gosh, life became something else for us. Our ministry plummeted, our good reputation amongst people just died overnight, and the whole strain of the business failure placed a great strain on my marriage. My home had always been beautiful up until that point. But then the marriage became shaky, life became difficult, and then in the midst of this, I discovered I was pregnant. Now, pregnancy, it's normally a sweet news, a joyful news to any parent. But at this point in time, it was like a bittersweet experience. Here, my marriage was about crashing. We were indebted to the tune of over $100,000. We could no longer walk the streets of our city freely, and a child was growing in my womb.
And I tell you, for you to get more information on what happened, you really need to get that book. Now, Pastor Layo, I want to ask you one serious question,
Okay.
which is, what are those steps that I can take to be a survivor? Because it is not all about, like when I drown, what brings me out?
Okay.
You know, so what do you think are the steps that I can take to become a survivor?
Okay, well, I wouldn't really term it a survivor because the full title of the book is The Survival,
Yeah.
the Heart of
Maybe,
Winning.
maybe I'm just wanting to just be a survivor, only a survivor.
No, my dear, being a survivor is just a means to an end. It's not the end in itself. Being a winner, becoming a hero is the end in itself. So maybe I'll talk about steps to being a winner, not just a survivor. We don't want to struggle and then just survive through life. We actually want to be winners. Okay, so one of the first things I would encourage you to do is to look inwards. The answer to every solution, the solution to every problem a man may be going through is inside the man. Look at the way God designed the human body. Do you know that everything that we need or that the human body needs to renew itself, regenerate itself, and be alive and be healthy, it's inside the body. It doesn't need anything from outside. That's why when you fall down and you graze your nails, if your body is functioning properly, after a while, the wound will close up automatically on its own. We have over 100 trillion living cells in our human body. And these cells, from time to time, they die and new ones are formed again. Our nails grow, and after a while, the weak ends will trim it off and fresh ones comes out. Our hairs grow. After a while, the weak ends, we trim them off and then fresh one comes out. What I'm trying to say is that the way God designed it is for the human body to renew itself, regenerate itself. In other words, for you as a human being, too, it doesn't matter what you're passing through. Help is not outside. Help is inside you. So number one, learn to look inwards. Man cannot help you on the outside. That's the mistake a lot of people they make. They think of who to run to and everything. But if you can actually look inwards, there is a spirit in man. The Bible says the inspiration of the Almighty gives him understanding. And the Bible also says God can do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or imagine, but it's in us according to the power that is in us. So number one, know that the solution to all your problems lies in you. And then secondly, we've got to learn to use the powers of our mind, the powers of imagination. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he at last in this world. Whatever a man will become. So you are going through a phase. Forget about what is happening inside of you. Looking what's the power of imagination. What do you want to see? Say it in what it will manifest in the physical. And then thirdly, we should leverage on the power of confession. What we say is what we get.
Yeah.
Every time we speak a word, there's an energy that goes out with that word. And once we speak those words, the energy goes to attract to us whatsoever we say. So you want to become successful. Speak your success. It doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. It doesn't matter what your situation is saying. But speak exactly what you, because what you say is what you get in this world. There is no other way.
I would say that. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
I know I said you should say 5 steps.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to give you those 3 steps that you have heard. And I will tell you, I know that more steps are in that book.
Definitely.
To be able to move into that level of being more than what you think you are, which is the survival level. Now, I want to ask, there was another captivating chapter in your book.
Okay.
I think it's chapter 6 or 7 that talks about desperado.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me, where did you get the idea of desperado?
Okay. All right. I'm a novel freak, so maybe it reflects in my writing style. And when I talk about the desperado, I'm actually talking about it in relations to being desperate. Now, desperation is when your back is against the wall and there is nowhere to turn to. Imagine somebody is locked up in battle and then you were retreating and somehow you just found out that there's nowhere to retreat to again. And you found that your back is against the wall.
A desperate move.
I'm telling you,
at that time.
all you have to do at that time is either put up your bravest fight and win, or don't fight and lose. So that's just the idea of desperado. Desperado is when you get to that point and you just have to make something work.
Yeah.
You just know you have to find a solution. then your mind will start producing answers. But when
Would
you've
you
not,
advise people to go into a desperado mode?
that is the point.
Do they need to get there?
What do we mean? Okay, well, at times answers may not come until you get to that phase.
Okay.
Yes, when you still think that you can get help from an uncle, from a mother somewhere, from a sister or something, but when you find out that there is no help coming from anywhere and you've got to produce something, that's a desperation. When you check the dictionary, it actually says it means for someone to be in a bad situation and you're willing to take any kind of risk in order to come out of it. So the key word there is risk. Desperation is not bad. It's just that you are willing to you are coming out of your comfort zone to say, no, I've got to make something work. So that's the idea I'm passing across in that chapter.
Okay, and in another chapter you talked about never say you have nothing. And that chapter, it really gets to me because we know we have, I was talking with someone the other time in an episode, and we were talking about identifying God's purpose for our life. Okay. And it got to a point where we said, a lot of times it's not like people don't know the purpose, but the move and the financial status can't, or the economy cannot help them. So when you say never say you have nothing, what do you mean?
Well, that's the thing. The point is that I believe that there's no phase a man gets to in life and he will not have anything. Even if a man wants to claim he has nothing, God is for us all. He has God. But the truth is that we all have something. It's just that we may underrate or overlook what we have. What I have may not be what you have. What you have may not be what I have. But we all have something that we can leverage on to get us to the next stage we want to get to. What we have may not be tangible. It may be a skill. It may be an ability. It may be an inborn talent. It doesn't have to be money. It could even be friends that believe in you, families that love you. It could be something material. It could be immaterial, but we just have something. Like the widow of Israel. She thought she didn't have anything, and then her husband was dead, and the creditors were coming to take her child and something. But she had a jar of oil in the house. She had this oil all along, but the problem was that she was overlooking it. She underrated that oil, and that's what a lot of people are doing today. When you look inwards, you find out that you really have something that can take you to the next phase you envisage.
Wow. Well, I know that there's a whole lot of things in this book, and we've just talked about just 3 chapters. So imagine what is inside this book.
Right.
And I want to ask, because I'm lucky and special to know you and be able to get the book from you. But when do you think people can get a hold of this book, and how can they get a hold of this book?
Okay, very soon it will be on most online stores, especially Amazon. So people will be able to get it from Amazon.
So you'll be able to purchase it from Amazon, and we're going to be writing out their email address, the page, and their contact, so that you can get in touch with Pastor Layo if you are willing and hungry and thirsty to learn more from this book. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I'm really happy to see you, and I'm really happy to talk about this book with you. And we hope to hear from you more.
Thank you.
Of course, there are other books you're bringing out soon.
Right.
And is there anything you want us to know about this book that you would love us to?
Well, when I was writing the book, I gave myself my yardstick for success. Okay. And I said, for me to know that this book is truly successful, then I must hear the testimony of a prisoner, somebody in a physical prison, who said, I got a hold of the book, The Survivor. And when I read the book, I was able to put the principles to work, and through those principles, I was able to come out of prison before time.
The person was able to come out from prison.
No, that is what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe they said this is a life condition. You're going to be jailed for life. But I'm looking forward to somebody saying, I read that book and I walked out of prison.
Yeah. So I'm believing a lot of people are going to get a hold of it immediately. It's out there on sale. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming and sharing with us about your book.
Thank you so much for having me on this platform.
And
I'm so
we hope to
privileged
see
be
more
here.
of you. And of course, other books are coming out very soon. And like you heard, you can get it from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And the details will be on the screen of the show, and you'll get to meet with other books that are coming out, even from her husband also.
Yeah.
So don't hold yourself back. Go online, check for it, search for it. Be thirsty and be hungry to have a difference in your life. Well, until next time, this is Sparkles with Treasure, and bye-bye.
Hi guys, my name is Rike. You're watching Sparkles with Treasure.